right. And I'm just going to pull up the live. So there we go, is that okay? Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? That's not too bad. I'm hoping you can hear me. Let me just put my, there we go, live. And then I can see if you arrive. Here we are. And I've just got my, there we are. Wonderful. Well, welcome to Friday Live. And we're going to do some more Reconnective Healing today. I'm going to pick up a few themes from the earlier video that I uploaded on Tuesday. So it was more about the deepening, and we were thinking of, what were we thinking of on Friday? I can't remember. It's all about the deepening. I know that you wrote some really lovely comments, not very well prepared. Oh, someone's arrived. Hello, Julie. Good morning, Julie. I'm going to actually make reference to your quote. I'm going to quote you, make reference to your comments, because Julie made a really good comment about the video on Tuesday. And the theme, I think, for today is going to be where attention goes, energy flows. Because we're thinking about just bringing our attention now to this place, to this quietening place where we sit in the power. And more I'm hearing your stories, amazing stories about what you're experiencing while you are watching the videos, even the playbacks. And it just makes me feel more determined to come and show up. Even if I'm busy, even if I'm a bit flustered, if I'm not really ready, it doesn't matter. I hope it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter because you're here with me. Good morning, Thomas. Lovely to see you. I hope you're well. How's the weather in New York? How's the weather in Texas? I'm looking at where you're from. If I don't know where you're from, Christine, hi. Just remind me where you're from, Christine. Christine, reference this week. Video, Mario Kart. The Mario Kart reference, yeah, about getting that energy boost. We're going to sit in the power and we receive the energy, light and information. I need to speak up because I couldn't quite get the microphone set up. I hope you can hear me. I must remember to speak up a little bit. Okay. Living in Ireland. That's interesting. I'm going to be joining you in the next few years or so. Maybe we'll be able to meet up in person. That would be nice. Yeah, so Julie, because you're here, I'm going to just try and remember what you were saying. And forgive me that I haven't got it in front of me. But it was about when we go inside, as within, so without, and we're doing the deepening, we are really doing a work of alchemy and transformation. That's right, we were talking about the Noosphere, wasn't it? And that was the last video. It's always good to watch the videos. If you just happen to stumble over this one, I will put the other video links at the end to the one previously and the playlist, because we're doing this playlist called The Deepening. We've looked at the Pistis Sophia, but we're really thinking about how this all ties in with, it's just a story that helps us to understand the psycho-spiritual model of reality and what's really happening, and how we're applying it to life. Paul, hi. From Omaha, Nebraska. Fantastic. Dallas. Paul. Ah, brilliant. Noel. Happy to see you all. This is perfect. From France. So we've got people from all over. This is wonderful. And one of the things that Julie was saying was when we do the work and we're going within to do the work, or we're sitting in the power as we are today, and we're changing things in the world. The question that Julie asked, that I've had for a long time, is it just our awareness that changes, or is it the reality out that changes? Or is it something real that changes, or is it just how we think of it, our awareness of it? Really good question. This is a philosophical question about ontology, and ontology is the nature of being, what really is, what reality is. And so it's really a question of objective or subjective. Is it objective? When we go inside and do the work, are we really changing something objective, or are we just changing something subjective so that we perceive it differently? And I have thought about this a lot, and I have to say that I've come down on the side that it has to be objective. We have to believe this, because if it's just subjective, then it would be the same as me just deciding to retreat away from it all, just wanting to escape from the pain of it and perhaps go to my own place where everything's nice. And that would be like putting your head in the sand. And that's often why mystics can be criticised, I suppose. You know, mystics versus activists. You need to be an activist out there in the world, because a mystic is just a cop-out. But that's a misunderstanding if we begin to realise that because of this interconnection, when we are changing things somehow, and we start to see that, and I think that Reconnective Healing is a lovely illustration of it, we start to see that when I'm sat here in Cornwall in my little cottage, and you're in all these different places, you're in, you know, New York, Nebraska, you're in Ireland, you're in Texas, you're in Dallas, and you are feeling something too. How do we explain that? How can we explain that other than that there is a unified field? And this unified field we're learning is the Noosphere, we could say. It's the collective, unconscious, different names for it. We don't have to fully understand it, we just know that there is an interconnection. So we are going to sit and just know that yes, subjectively we will feel changed. We will feel a vibrational lift, because we always do. And we'll feel a sense of calm and a sense of peace, and that's a reason enough alone to do it, to take a little bit of time out. But we also know that others are changed too. And there is healing that happens, not just for individuals, but for situations and for the world. So nice to see everybody. It's lovely to see you arriving. So let's do it. Let's just do it. And where attention goes, energy flows. I said this because, you know, I think when we put our attention is with power, isn't it? You're giving your power away. Thinking about the Pistis Sophia being trapped in a consciousness layer and the archons stealing her light. That's the story. It's a myth. But when we are trapped in a way of thinking, and trapped is a strong word, but when we just give our attention to stuff that's lower and stuff that entices us and draws us in, even the stuff, you know, like you can just be lost for half an hour, can't you, before you know it, before you've got out of bed and you've just lost that time to TikTok or wherever, because the stuff that's enticing, because it's scandal or it's even the bad stuff, even the negative stuff you kind of want to know about. But it brings your vibration low. So what we're doing is, when we're actually sitting in the power and receiving the light, energy and information of Reconnective Healing, we're lifting our own vibration, but we're lifting it for the collective too. And so we're being our own saviour, as it were. So let's do that. As always, I ask you to sit comfortably, and you might want to hold your hands in front of you so that you're aware. Even as I've done that now, I start to just feel that little kind of like buzzing, that little slight electrical feeling. And just allow yourself to take a few deep breaths, setting aside the story. I heard Suzanne Giesman had a lovely description this morning. She said that about the ego, we get a lot of bad press for the ego, but it's necessary. It's just the awareness point for the story of your life. But you can say to it, in this time we have together, you know, just go and sit in the corner over there, you know, and you can just take a bit of time out from it, and then at the end you can come back and you carry on the story of your life, but this is the time to just let go of the story, expand your awareness, know that you're so much greater than your story. We're souls having an earthly experience, and the soul is eternal. The soul is light. It's our light body, and we can live more comfortably in that light body. And as we do so, we heal. We raise the vibration of our physical vehicle, because there's some sort of outpouring from spirit, soul, body, spirits. It's just a, interconnection. It's the human nature. And so we're receiving from spirit, call it what you will, light, the universe, greater being. And just be aware of the very subtle sensations that you might feel. Don't worry if you don't. Just know that we're activating frequencies that are transformative. And as we do it together and sit in the power, it becomes more powerful. Okay. You might be aware of changes in temperature, sometimes heat, sometimes icy cold, and more often people report back little kind of tingles. I'm just getting some here by my temple, like pins and needles, but very subtle, like electrical little sensations. Or sometimes like pulsations, you know, like just aware of energy shifts, yeah. Your fingers, on your skin. For some people it can be quite dramatic and they get involuntary twitches. But these are just little indicators that something's being activated and it's in a field that we share. Maybe you just want to put your hands up now to the camera. If we all do that together, just for a few moments in closing. As a gesture of reconnecting. As a gesture that we are never actually alone. We know that physically there are miles and miles, thousands of miles between us, and yet it is as though we are together, even physically, in a tangible way. And that brings a real sense of comfort and peace and changes the way you see reality. We're never alone. Let me see who else is here. Hello from Greece. I just want to catch up. Enjoy the whole video later. Thank you for the divine touches of grace. It is from the divine, and it does feel like touches of grace. Yeah. I love hearing your feedback and your stories. And I especially like when I see some of you I know through having a one-to-one session with, and you tell me the stories of how this has helped you. Even watching the videos back, in many ways, not just physical. Some of you have noticed an improvement in your performance in like sporting achievement or like musical performing. Interesting. After this raising of frequencies. Yeah. Hello, Dawn. Mihai, you're welcome. God bless you. So I wonder how you're feeling now. Calm, relaxed, I hope so. Just allow yourself a few more moments to bathe in the frequencies, if you can. For some of you, it's the start of your day. For me, it's that Friday wind down, beginning of the weekend feeling. So it's always nice to have this sort of ending to the Friday. Denmark, hello, Henrietta. You're welcome, Dawn. Sense of well-being, yeah. Sense of calm. Okay, so next Tuesday will be an upload on, if you haven't already seen it, please go and watch the Noosphere one. It's not necessarily a great sort of title. It says what it is, but if you don't know what it is, you might think, well, that doesn't even interest me because you don't know what it is. But it's so important, the Noosphere, because it kind of helps us understand this field by which we're all connected, and the way in which our light work, when we are doing this light work of sitting in the power, We're adding light to the collective. We're tweaking the Noosphere, and it's making a difference, and it's all part of the evolutionary progression of humanity. So it's an important one in terms of the teaching, and the teaching is, cumulative. So we build on each time. So sometimes I'll make reference to the previous video, so that's why I've put it in a playlist, and I will link it at the end. If you haven't seen them all, you can go back and look and work your way through them. And then we can share our questions and comments. I always invite them so that we can talk about them on the Friday sessions. And the idea is that the Friday sessions are an opportunity to do the practice together. Tuesdays, it's the learning and the teaching, the wisdom teaching that's coming through. And when I say coming through, I use this phrase because that's part of what happens when we sit in the power. The information comes through. Yes, not just in terms of the teaching, but in terms of guidance for your life. So there's so much benefit from this deepening that we're doing together. Feeling peaceful, starting my day in spirit, rather than letting ego drive me around. But yes, may you be blessed too, Julie. Thank you, everybody. Bless you, and I'll see you next time. Take care. God bless. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks for joining me.